Okay, so I've almost finished doing the first pass of the refined block-in. You may have noticed that I'm constantly checking height to width relationship, and I'm not committed to any one thing. So once I've done this pass all the way through, what I would do is go back and start checking and making sure that what I thought was right is right. So height to width, all of that, all of those variables need to be refined, adjusted, until it appears correct. So you can see that I'm measuring across the form. I'm also measuring lengths. I'm finding angles. So all of these play the role. And you have to be pretty vigilant and not commit to any one thing until you have multiple confirmations that it is accurate. So also you may have noticed that the line quality is a little bit darker than what I would recommend, and that is because I'm using a 6B in order for the video to come out more clearly. So just keep that in mind. You guys will be working with an HB pencil. Constantly checking to make sure that everything is adding up. Okay, that looks good. Let's go back here and just make sure that that ankle is okay. So the angle was off just a little bit. And again, I would go back and refine everything. So everything that I thought was correct, I would go back and actually question all of it. So, and that's how you become, that's how you achieve a realistic, naturalistic effect, is by constantly challenging what you think you know. You know, and that information is evolving as you're putting down information and checking it. So it is real important that you get accustomed to doing that. And I find it one of the most fascinating parts of drawing is that you're constantly, you know, trying to achieve this level of accuracy, and at the same time keep it natural, right? So it doesn't look stiff. So even though it may appear initially a little bit more rigid, this will get you to being very fluid. So right now I'm teaching you the mechanics. So again, it may seem a little rigid, but this is the pathway to getting to that point where you can just freehand. And you can see that I'm restraining myself from doing that, but I would freehand this a little bit more than what I'm doing now. Actually, a lot more than what I'm doing now, but I'm trying to restrain myself in order to give you guys the most accurate method that I learned. You know, so you've got to learn all these skill sets in order to I've got to make sure that that is accurate there. So by doing this and learning this method and following the process, you're training yourself to see and have a better eye-hand coordination. It looks a little interesting here. So unfortunately we don't have the model here. I'm working from a sketch that I've done, but something in here looks a little, it doesn't add up to me. So, but for the demo purposes, I think it's fine. Okay, so looks like gone through all the process. Everything seems to look pretty accurate. So the next stage would be going into the refined contour line. And I think actually we have one more block-in stage, which is just refining and adding a little bit more information to what we have. All right, so that's the demo for today. That's what you're going to be working on. I'm just going to clean up, make sure all my fingerprints, lighten this up just a little bit. All right, very good.